Hey guys, good morning. Um, I want to talk about something that I think we all have done sometime in our lives, which is to to go and fight for something that we want, and when we get it, we take it for granted, and we take it for granted so much to the point that we don't really pay attention to it, and we start behaving like this is something that forms part of our lives and it's never gonna be gone. So we're really not giving it the value. We're really not going back to the place where we were when we started fighting for it and dreaming about it and wanting it and making the effort and doing whatever necessary, all the sacrifices to get that job, to get into that school, to get to know that person, to improve ourselves and become that person that you probably you are by now. And that's one of the reasons why I think it's very important to always be mindful of the place where you come from. Always keep in mind where you started, and always keep in mind all the sacrifices, everything you have done to be where you are right now. It is very easy to get used to something that you have had for a while. And I see that with the American kids that I teach, that I teach tennis to. It's I have always said that living in the United States, if you were born in the United States or you live in the United States, I mean, you are really lucky. Being born in the United States makes you really lucky, because you're gonna live in one country where you're not gonna have to deal with a lot of problems. Things that are common for you, they are not in a lot of other places. It's a real luxury to be an American. It's a real luxury to live in the United States, because it's a good life. It's very different, and that's the reason why I believe a lot of our kids are spoiled, because they take it for granted. That's I always whenever I talk to people about what's the reason why the United States haven't had another Pete Sampras or Andre Agassi, I say, you know why? I think the main reason why is because American kids are like deeply rotten, spoiled. Just, I mean, and a big part to blame is the parents, because a kid, I mean, I have taught kids in the juniors clinics that are 8 years old and 8 years old, and by the time they're 8, they're already getting for Christmas a $1,000 phone. And I'm like, Jesus, man, really? When I was 8 years old, all I could dream about is having a new pair of shoes, probably a new set of strings. No, I couldn't even really dream about having a new racket, which is nowhere near the price of the latest iPhone, you know. So I think American kids are really spoiled. I think that they get things very easily. They don't really get, and a lot of parents don't really follow the action and reward kind of system. They just reward, ask and give. Ask me and I give you. And of course, when the kids grow up and they have to face problems by themselves, they really struggle with it. They have a hard time going to college, or go to college, and after college, when they're gonna have to find a job and pretty much start supporting themselves, they have a hard time, because they don't have that mentality. So it's very important that's why it's so important that we have to struggle and go through difficult times to get the things that we want, because if we don't, we're just gonna throw it away. That's why they say, I think it's 80 or 90% of the people that win the lotto, they lose the money within the next 2 or 3 years. And I heard somebody say, you know what? If you grab a man with an average mind or mediocre mind, and you give him $1 million, you can find that person 1 or 2 years later, and that person is gonna go back. He's gonna be back in the same place he was before he had that $1 million. Meaning, of course, they don't know how to handle it. So it's I think this is something that we really need to pay attention. I think that's one of the reasons why we don't a lot of people don't understand why we have to go through difficult times, adversity, because that's what helps us. That's what makes you think seriously about what you need to do, what you need to go through, and if it's worth it. That's what makes you value the things that you have. So you just gotta remember, you gotta go back to the place where you started. And if you're barely starting and you don't really have much, at least not what you want, well, that's the way you have to look at adversity. Adversity is gonna put you in your place. Adversity is gonna show you, this is what you gotta go through to get to what you want. So when you get to that place, you value it, and you know what you got, and you know what, even better, if you can help others to get there, that's what's really gonna give you much more. So anyways, guys, it was good talking to you, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.